And here we go. We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 307. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. Elsewhere on the screen, joining us is the Scholars of Wrestling party champion, the one and only Scholar Tarek. Scholar Tarek, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing just fine, fool. How are you doing this evening?
I am chipper, except for a little pest problem, but I will bring about the fatalities in time. Elsewhere, I'm just glad that we're being joined by the full crew this week. We have also joining us today the Scholars of Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, the one and only Scholar Brian. Scholar Brian, what's up, sir?
Ready for the greatest party of the summer.
You don't sound too enthused.
Weird this year because nobody's going to be there except tiny pixelated heads.
Hey, if you squint long enough, everything's a tiny pixelated head.
I got my summer drink ready.
I was going to say, what are you sipping on, Scholar Tarek?
Orange Cassidy juice.
Isn't that just a screwdriver?
Sure. It's delicious.
Freshly squeezed.
I'll bet it is.
Freshly squeezed orange Cassidy juice.
And last but certainly not least, also joining us, the one and only Scholar Charlie. Scholar Charlie, how are we doing tonight, sir?
It's Summerfest weekend, boys.
I
Amazing.
know, and hopefully we won't be banned from the Summerfest.
Summerfest.
But yes, in all seriousness, it is not only SummerSlam weekend, but it is also time for not only NXT Takeover, but Takeover 30. We've got a lot of predicting to do. It's a major show, and all the titles are going to be on the line. So let's not mess around anymore. Let's just dive right into it, starting with NXT Takeover 30.
NXT Triple X. Ooh, baby. Ooh.
Bring on the music.
2 minutes, 30 seconds. That did not take any long at all.
We all have the dirty minds to think, NXT Triple X.
Anyway.
Badge card on work Wi-Fi, not going to lie.
Anyway, first match, pre-show match, we've got Breezango versus Orny Lorcan and Danny Burch and the Phantasma Boys. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Scholar Charlie, let's kick things off with you. Triple threat tag match. Who do you got?
Orny Lorcan, and his name isn't Burch.
Danny Burch.
Danny Burch, yep. You can tell from that prediction how invested in this match I am. Go at it, boys.
Okay. Next in line is Tarek. Fool, who do you got?
You know what? This is another one that I'm not really... When it comes to NXT, this is like the last thing that I've actually had on my mind when it comes to Takeover Triple X. So I'm just gonna guess out of my ass, and I'm also gonna pick Orny Lorcan and Danny Burch because I seriously doubt Breezango is gonna win. And
well, screw you guys. I'm gonna go Breezango.
Huh?
Screw you guys. I'm going Breezango to win. That's reasons. I'm serious.
And there it goes again with Jeff and his wild predictions.
Well, it's like I've been spending more of my time watching AEW Dynamite Kick. So as much as I like Orny Lorcan, he never wins, even though I like him a lot. And the Phantasma Boys, I don't know what their deal is. So I'm just going to go with Breezango because reasons.
Maybe I just chose Orny Lorcan and Danny Burch because Orny sounds like horny, and this is Triple X.
No, I'll tell you
this is why we don't talk about the G1 Climax anymore.
Why would you do that? Now it's in our heads.
Bro,
No.
This is the event that one of us has to reach that climax just because Triple X.
If I win a belt after this night, I make no promises. Anyway, Scholar Brian, triple threat tag match. Who do you got?
You want to know why I'm going with Lorcan and Birch? I'll tell you why. Because they've actually been on TV in the last month. Only Lorcan has put up a fight against. I don't know if I'm mixing these up, but they did singles competition against Thatcher and Cross, and actually put up a fight. Whereas Breezango, I don't know, haven't seen them on TV in a bit. Okay, and the other team I don't even know. So that's it.
The other team is just lackeys.
And is this for? I believe this is number one contendership.
Yep.
So
Number one contender.
Give me Oni Lorcan and Danny Birch against what's that team? Fuck.
The British guys.
Oh, Imperium.
Yes.
Imperium. Give me Birch and
The
Lorcan.
British guys.
Imperium. Because the other two, sorry, Jeff, I know you like Breezango. I know you love them, but they're gonna get murdered. Have the British guys fight.
Then again, if it's I can be okay with this if it's Oni Lorcan. I really can.
Yeah.
He's a good worker.
Does he make you Oni, baby?
Lorcan and Birch.
I no longer like this man.
That's
He sucks.
This guy sucks.
Does he make you Butchie? Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Moving on.
Doesn't have to, man. Triple X.
Moving on. Finn Balor, Timothy Thatcher. 1-on-1. Who do you got? Let's see. Oh, great. It's Tarek's turn. All right. Balor, Thatcher.
Well,
Pick
shit.
one.
Balor.
All right. I too am going for Finn Balor because
Does this
reasons.
match actually have any build to it?
No.
Tim Thatcher is just like, I'm going to stretch you out for days.
I didn't even know it was a thing until right now.
They have to make up the fact that Finn Balor lost to Velveteen Dream to be put in that NXT North American title ladder match.
Oh, joy.
I got NXT logic.
NXT logic. Brian, who do you got?
Here's one. They need to have Finn Balor actually win a match.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm gonna continue on with the trend and go Finn Balor.
Charlie, are we going 4 for 4 here?
Tarek, why was there no mention that on Finn's shirts there's 3 X's?
Because I'm trying to dial back on the Triple X because I'm making Jeff extremely uncomfortable.
And yes, 4 for 4 Finn Balor. Would you expect anything less from me on a Finn Balor prediction? Come on now, guys.
Stranger things have happened. That's all I care to say. All right. Next match. NXT Women's Championship. Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai. Shirai or Dakota Kai.
Shirai. Shirai or the Dakota Kai.
Ride or die with Shirai or Kai.
Shirai.
Who's Shirai or Kai? Who's your ride or die? It's my turn, so I'm going to go Shirai.
That is a great tag team name. Shirai or Kai.
Just because I feel like she's finally hit her stride, and as good as Dakota Kai is, I don't see Io losing this one just yet. Brian, who do you got? Shirai, Kai, or die?
I think Shirai's in for a I think Shirai's in for a long title reign. I like Dakota Kai, but now her time will come. But now's not the time. It's too soon to take the title belt off of Shirai. So yeah, Shirai.
So you're not going to be that guy. You're going to go with Shirai.
Shirai is my ride or die.
Shirai is your ride or die. You're not going to be that guy. Charlie, would you care to try?
Io Shirai.
Io Shirai, everyone's ride or die. Tarek, Make me stop rhyming. Give me something, please.
E-O.
Mm.
That didn't rhyme, so I win.
Try is his ride or die.
Is all of our ride or die. All
Ride
right.
or die. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, because he's not Zack Ryder anymore.
Woo,
So yeah,
woo,
Zack
woo.
Ryder's dead. So he died. Zack Ryder has died.
He be dead. Woo, woo, woo. I am
Woo,
sad.
woo.
I still,
That's right.
that's the only reason why I want to see Zack Ryder in WWE again at any point. I just want to say woo, woo, woo again. While drinking orange juice out of a light up glass.
It's great.
Speaking of drinking orange juice out of a light up glass with a swirly straw, we got the North American Championship ladder match. Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, and Velveteen Dream. Who is up next? I believe, Brian, it's your turn. Brian, North American Championship ladder match. Who you got?
Of course, give me the tough one first. Okay. I'll tell you who's not winning.
I'll tell you the 5 guys who aren't with.
No, if I guarantee you, Dream is not winning. I guarantee that.
Yeah.
Okay. So knock his name off the list. You're down to 4, and this is the problem, because this is the best kind of problem for a ladder match to have. Okay, there's no clear cut winner. Okay. I think there's going to be a new champion.
Mm-hmm.
And I
It's gonna be
need
Brock Lesnar showing up out of nowhere.
It's one of those. It's
Why'd you have to remind me of that?
Think about it's between Priest and Grimes. For me, I got to think about it. I'll go Damian Priest. Fuck it.
Okay.
Damian Priest, and then him and Grimes can feud over it for the next little while.
All right, Charlie. Who do you got? Ladder match.
I'm with Brian on this one, Damian Priest.
Uh-oh. Tarek, who are you picking for this one?
I kind of want to change my answer just because it's been the same answer for both Charlie and Brian.
I'm going.
Now,
Mine's going to be different.
Differ on NXT, but we're all like choosing the same exact shit.
I honestly thought that this one was going to have all 4 different answers. That's my fault.
I honestly thought so too. I know mine's going to be different.
For me, the top 2 is either Bronson Reed or Damian Priest. Should I just change to my number 2 or just stick with this? Stick with my guns.
Okay. Fool. Will it help if you hear my prediction first?
Sure.
Okay. See, I've got a bit of a problem here.
Uh-oh.
This is a card that Lacey Evans is not on. However, Bronson Reed is. And he's steadily becoming one of my guys. So I'm going to go with Bronson Reed. He's going to sit on everybody and squash heads.
I totally am surprised right now because I took Jeff as a total Grimes guy. I don't know.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
The only reason I
go to the moon, don't you, Jeff?
He's a hairy bearded boy who gets funky. Yeah, I wonder why you think that.
The only reason that I didn't go with Reed is because he's the one who stood tall on Wednesday.
And you know what? I'm gonna bring it up again. The same thing happened to Zack Ryder at that one WrestleMania where he won the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, everyone
so
hated
there
it.
is. I'm sorry, Tarek, but there is a precedent for this kind of thing.
And
it's not guaranteed, but.
And how many times did we say when Corbin took the throne prematurely, oh, he's definitely not going to win?
Oh, I knew he was winning that from the start.
Okay, so all that nonsense. all that bad blood being brought up again. Fool, reattach your left arm. Who are you going with?
Damn background.
Reattach your left arm.
Green screen tech. Yay.
Hey, fail. Imagine if they just troll us and they just give it to Velveteen Dream because he has a brand new heel character.
I swear to God.
And now because I said that, it's going to happen. But I'm not predicting that because, oh my God.
The shitstorm that will create. That's it.
You're thinking about it now, aren't you, fool?
To be perfectly honest, yeah, I actually am kind of thinking of it to be that asshole and just be like, you know what? Let's just give the North American title to the most controversial superstar right now. My God, this is actually the only match that I actually didn't predict, that I didn't write down on my predictions. So, you know what? Why not? I'll give it to Velveteen Dream.
You've cursed us all. I hope you're happy.
Because
you know what?
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
But you know what? It's so insane that it might actually happen.
No. If that actually happens, you can't bitch about Zack Ryder anymore. That's it.
What have you done?
No, that happens at Bronson.
Oh, Tarek.
Oh boy, I knew this one's gonna be interesting. I knew it. Anyway,
the last person who entered the ladder match ends up winning. Oh, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing?
All right, let's move on to a less outrageous match, shall we? Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee.
Less outrageous, huh?
Brian, your pick. Who do you got?
I'll tell you what. Okay, I was not excited for this match at all. And then Pat McAfee cut one of the best promos I've heard all year from any company.
Badass promo.
From any company. Okay, that promo he cut, I'm invested now. And I know the WWE mindset. Okay, the WWE mindset states that there's a shot that McAfee could actually win, but I am not going to take the bait. I'm thinking that they're gonna I'm thinking that McAfee will put in a very good showing. We'll get very close, but Cole will get the victory because legitimately the last time they actually came to blows, McAfee came out on top. So
He did.
God damn it. Do it. Go on. That's it. But yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with Adam Cole on this one.
Charlie, your pick. Who do you got?
I'm so freaking torn because this is gonna come. This same way of looking at this match is gonna come up in SummerSlam later on, and I feel like special guest matches are often, if not always, catered to special guests. But God damn it. He's Adam Cole. I'm switched. This will be the one time today that I switch my paper with what I say, and I gotta believe in Adam Cole.
Hey.
going to hurt me too much. I might as well go with my heart on one of them.
All right, Tarek, are we going 3 for 3 over here, or
This is gonna be
are we getting saucy?
I'm getting saucy. I am. It's actually what I actually like about this is that McAfee actually is 10 times is the more entertaining football player that come to WWE more than Gronk has ever done. And Gronk only showed up on 2 shows.
Something like that.
Don't forget about LT.
Like there's so many quotable lines that came out of that promo. Like, I'm like, Shawn
I
Michaels.
kind of want him.
Yeah, Shawn
I kind
Michaels.
of want him to stay around after this. That's more than I could say about Gronk. I wanted him gone the second he showed up. Chicken shit, afraid to fall off a 10 bump.
Oh, yeah,
Have to have a 70-year-old man show him how it's done. Basically,
now
put him in
the
his
video's out.
place like a little bitch.
The video's out, so
The video's out. It's a 70-year-old man made Gronk look like a bitch that he had to run back to his boyfriend in Tom Brady. But yeah, I feel like this one is going to be booked to have a controversial ending, and McAfee might actually stick around after this and continue this feud, and he's just going to have a muscle man helping him win. I don't know why. That's to go with the whole weekend, especially for SummerSlam. You'll never see it coming. That'll just be something interesting to see, more than just Adam. It's like the one-off match between the celebrity and a wrestler. Actually, it's like now it's actually real. Like at first, people thought this is just lame, and now after this week, damn, guy can talk. The guy can really talk. So I kind of actually want to see this continues. And so, yeah, McAfee for the win.
Very interesting. As interesting as that would be, I just don't see Adam Cole losing this. Even if he does, there's no way it's going to be clean. No way at all. But all that being said, I'm going to have to go with Adam Cole for this one. There's going to be shenanigans. You know it. But as far as an outright loss, I don't think it's going to happen that way. The possibility still exists, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not convinced in the slightest that Adam Cole is going to reasonably lose this. And that's really the only reason I have to go with Adam Cole for this one.
Baby.
But it's okay because Pat McAfee will still walk away with the most quotable line from a promo that's been cut this year. Shawn Michaels was checking the vitals on your soulless body as you were laying next to stupid Tom Phillips. That's
Tom Phillips.
Oh, poor Tom Phillips. All right.
If you wanted the dude to come off like a dick on camera, like that, Pat McAfee.
Mission accomplished, Pat. And finally, our main event for the evening, Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. Oh, and look at that. Charlie, it's your turn. Speak.
This hurts so much that I have to say this, but Karrion Kross is not winning on his first time out.
Really? I'm surprised to hear that from you of all people.
It hurts, man. Keith Lee.
Wow, I didn't.
Yes. I refuse to go with my heart on this one because then it'll cost me big points. Sorry, Karrion Kross. He's undeniably the next NXT champion. But I just don't see it happening. He's had too much of the upper hand going into this feud.
Fool, do you concur or deny?
I concur. I want to see Karrion Kross win this as well, but this Keith Lee's first big title defense. I don't think they're gonna have him drop it this quickly.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going in the same answer, but for a different reason. I'm going Keith Lee just because he's my guy, but I'm not convinced at all that he is by no means safe here. Like Keith Lee is safe in terms of his position, but in terms of his status as a champion to someone who's just like riding a huge ass wave of momentum here, someone like Karrion Kross, I think there's a real legitimate threat that he could absolutely win this match. But I'm just going with Keith Lee here. I'm following my heart. My brain says Karrion Kross, but my heart says Keith Lee, and that's the way I'm going.
And
Brian,
that's the way
I'm gonna
Brian,
go
how's
there.
your cookie crumble?
I'm gonna go there. I think that this is another thing where WWE/NXT has booked themselves into a corner. Okay, they did it with The Fiend. Now they did it with Karrion Kross. It's one of those things where at this point, in my mind, you have to shit or get off the pot. So the first big thing he has on a pay-per-view is I just feel I feel like it's too soon. Like he shouldn't have been going for the title now, but now that he is going for the title now, you can't have him lose. I mean, so it's either a double count out, it's either a DQ or Karrion Kross wins. So you can't have him just out and out take a pin. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be the one. I'm going to, and if this is the hill I die on, if this is how I lose the title, that's perfectly fine. But I'm doing it. Karrion Kross becomes your new NXT champion.
I was gonna say, if I lose points here, or if I lose my shot at the title here, I'm gonna be happy as hell because Karrion Kross is my guy. I'm still gonna be happy with that win.
If this is how I lose, it's like if this is how I lose my title, fine. This isn't Ellsworth fucking.
Okay.
Fireball costs Keith Lee the belt.
Fireball.
Fireball.
All right. In the face. Now, moving on from TakeOver to the big show at large. We're moving over to large
big show.
WWE SummerSlam 2020 main card. Let's go. First match, Raw Tag Championships. Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza. We are up to, I believe we're up to Tarek. Tarek, yes. First pick. Street Profits or Andrade and Angel Garza? Who do you got?
It's actually funny. This is one of the two matches that I am actually having trouble putting down because I'm just thinking, is it just, and it's actually both stories kind of have a similar story to them, getting the revenge on the bad guys. But it's also the question with the Street Pop, they kind of already got their revenge on the poisoning. So
which way are you going to go?
That's the thing. I do not know where I'm going to go because when I look at Street Profits tag team title reign, it's actually been kind of disappointing. They've had it for a while, yes, but a good chunk of it was the Street Profits versus the Viking War Raider experience with Goofy. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
That's the third time I've heard this song today.
Wow, really?
Yeah, really.
Because of this particular story?
No,
Or
it's just pure coincidence.
wow, wait, was that sarcasm?
No, I'm dead serious.
Okay.
But anyway, Street
Wow,
Profits, Andrade,
that's just weird.
pure coincidence. Who do you got? Gun to your head. You gotta make a pick.
Do I want to go the safe route or do I want to be risky?
I don't know.
It's just also the thing. The Street Profits. This whole feud has been a really one-sided story where the Street Profits have been getting the one edge over Andrade and Angel Garza like from the beginning. They already had a tag team title match. They won. Street Profits won. They've had singles matches. Street Profits won. Bianca Belair beats up Zelina Vega.
So what does that tell you?
That the Street Profits are obviously going to win.
Oh, wow.
You're thinking too hard.
Yeah.
Is he,
and
though?
for the title, I should be thinking hard about this.
Unexpectedly tough choice.
This and one other match actually kind of is.
Yeah, this when I was putting predictions down, I'm like blah 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 blah. Picked it.
Good for you two assholes. It's not as easy for me, okay?
Leave me alone.
Fuck it, I'll just be safe. Street Profits.
All right. Street Profits it is. I'm going to let you in on a secret, though. I told myself a long time ago, based off of what I've seen, whoever Tark goes with, I'm going to go the exact opposite. I'm going to go with Andrade and Garza.
Okay.
For no other reason, it's a gut feeling. I've got a bad feeling about it, and it seems plausible in my eyes. It really does.
You know what?
I don't have a bad feeling about it
That's
at all.
perfect. That's perfectly fine because it's actually surprising that like the betting odds actually are in favor of Andrade and Garza. With this one.
I purposely tried to avoid those, but I'm like, okay.
I didn't.
That was something I actually couldn't avoid. I'm just like, oh wow, really? I just happened to bump across it. It's like, oh wow. So
Interesting.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually kind of want Andrade and Garza to win this one, just to give these guys something. Because unlike the Street Profits, they actually have been on every show and they've been involved with pretty big storylines. They feuded against Drew. They helped Randy Orton take out Big Show. They have a stupid Zelina Vega poisoning him for, reasons. And apparently they have this one woman from The Bachelorette showing up and being a horrible, horrible actress. Gosh, she's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
She hurts my ears and eyes when she talks.
It's okay. Zelina Vega makes up for it all. But elsewhere, Brian, who's your pick? Who are you going with?
I knew who I wanted, like almost immediately, but then I looked at the Payback poster, which has the Street Profits of the like front and center. Now, why would the Street Profits be front and center on a show that's called Payback? That means they lost at the last show.
We can't go by their advertisement, though.
Well, I am.
Okay. So you're going with Andrade and Garza?
Two tag team champions. Garza and Andrade. First of all, because I want it. And then, second of all, it does make sense. And third of all, sorry, I've had enough of the Street Profits tag team title reign. Move along, give me new champions, and we'll go from there.
Then again, to be fair, I have actually liked. No, I have liked the Street Profits reign. Even their whole back and forth with the Viking Raiders, that made for good TV in my eyes. It seriously did. So it's not unreasonable to think that they've got a shot.
I want to change my answer.
Well, Charlie,
I don't.
who's your pick?
Andrade and Angel Garza. Not overthinking it, not going by advertisements. They're going to win because they're going to win. And they're going to win.
Well, I've said Andrade.
What if they win?
From the start, but
Honestly, yeah. I hate my answer.
I
I don't.
You say that until the Street Profits retain.
No, they're not. They're not going to retain.
They could. They seriously could.
I'm gonna laugh really hard if they do.
Look, what's the tagline of this show? You'll never see it coming.
I want the people who poison them to win.
I still have reasonable doubt. I do. But anyway, speaking of reasonable doubt, hair versus hair match. The first time in a long time. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville. I believe it's my turn, so I'm just going to dive right in. I think Mandy Rose is going to win this one. I think Sonya Deville has been an absolute trooper, especially over the past 48 hours. She's a badass. I can see this as two friends just putting together something wild and crazy to get over on TV. Mandy Rose, I don't see them cutting her hair any further, but I have been wrong. But I see Mandy Rose getting some comeuppance from this. I'm going to go with Mandy Rose. That means, Brian, it's your pick. Mandy Rose or Sonya Deville?
I'll also go with Mandy Rose because for one reason and one reason only. Okay. Baby faces do not lose hair versus hair matches. Ever. Not once, ever. That's all I need to go on.
Charlie, do you concur?
I said earlier that I'm only switching one on my paper, and I'll stick to that. Brian, thank you for making me feel much more comfortable about my pick. Mandy Rose is winning.
And Tarek, who is your pick between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville to win?
Same exact reason Brian said, Mandy Rose.
Okay. Moving on elsewhere down the card, for the U.S. Championship, we've got Apollo Crews versus MVP. Let's see here. Brian, I believe it's your call. Who do you got?
I'm going to go with Apollo Crews because I don't think MVP is the one in the Hurt Business that is going to take the title from Apollo Crews. So whatever their name is, but yeah, until that day comes, MVP's been doing a great job. He's been money since he came back, but I don't think that he's the one to take the title from Apollo Crews.
Okay then, Charlie, your pick. Who do you got?
For the reasons that Brian said, and also I just feel like the Hurt Business is being invested in building Raw Underground too much to really cater off of having a United States champion right now. I'm going to stick with Apollo Crews retaining.
Tarek, do you concur?
I concur with Apollo Crews winning, but the Hurt Business showed up on one episode of Raw Underground. I don't think that's being too invested in Raw Underground. Apollo Crews is winning this just so they can give the United States title to Bobby Lashley at Payback.
That was my idea.
That's everyone's
where
idea, Brian. Apparently, except for Charlie.
No, I was like that. That's where I was going with it. With my statement, just I didn't want to name a name, but Tarek came in and was like, "Fuck it."
I was gonna say I didn't take it quite that far, but I'm concurring with Apollo Crews winning, just because I don't feel like MVP is going to take it just right now, and I've really got no more logic other than that. But hey, as long as we get there, we get there. Now we will move on to the first of two women's championship match. First, we've got for the Raw Women's Championship, Asuka versus Sasha Banks. Let's see.
You should actually do the SmackDown one first. You should do the SmackDown one first, as they announced that one that's going to be first.
Oh, they did announce it's going to be first.
Yeah, they did that. They said it on Raw.
Okay. In that case, Bayley versus Asuka. First up, Charlie, I believe it's your pick first.
I don't think they're both going to lose. Therefore, well, I'm not going to go into the other one yet, so I'll just say Bayley retains.
All right, Tarek, you're up. Bayley, Asuka, who do you got?
I was going to do this with the Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville story, but I got so upset with the the Raw tag team title match, that I just got that I just didn't give a shit. So I'll just move that to here, and then I'm just going to say, go Bayley.
All right. Next one's going to be me. This one was a tough one for me. There's so many different ways they can go about this. This is another one of these. I'm going to say Asuka. I've got a feeling shenanigans are going to happen. I'm going to pick Asuka to win this. No particular reason other than that's just my pick. Brian, make your pick. Who do you got?
It's one of those. Asuka's gonna win one of these because it's furthering the split between Bayley and Sasha Banks that is inevitably coming. It's been coming for 2 years. I've been trying to manifest it for about the last 6 months now. On every pay-per-view, I've been saying this is the one that it's gonna happen. So it's
gonna reach its climax.
I think that this is going to be. I think that this show is going to be the breaking point, and I think it's gonna have. The only reason that I'm picking it this way is because Asuka's not a SmackDown superstar, so Bayley wins. That's it.
Okay, then. Then moving on to this next match of this variety, Sasha Banks, Asuka. Blah, 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 blah. I can't English good today. Tarek, your pick. Who got?
Well, today.
Well, this one, pretty much to the extent Brian just put it, Asuka, the Raw superstar, is going to win back the Raw Women's Championship from the SmackDown superstar Sasha Banks, and Sasha Banks versus Bayley will eventually be the only interesting women's feud to actually happen on SmackDown. Because seriously, is there any other now feud other than Naomi versus Lacey Evans over anything you can sing, I can sing better.
Well, Mandy
to be factual,
Rose
she did.
Are you forgetting that one?
Oh yeah, right. That is the SmackDown storyline, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, the hell with me then. Hell, and you even have Alexa Bliss being involved with Braun and the Fiend, or at least I don't know what happened this week on SmackDown, but it's actually kind of interesting to think that when it comes to the SmackDown women, I think they actually have more storylines for their women's division more than Raw.
Oh, easily.
Because I'm trying to think. It's Iconics versus Riot Squad. I am actually now bored with that feud.
Nothing that really matters is over on the Raw side.
Natalia versus Mickey James. Natalia and Lana versus Mickey James. But I think this past Raw showed how interested they are in that one. And yeah, Bayley and Sasha Banks, 2 SmackDown superstars over. Oh, the only other interesting feud: Shayna Baszler versus Nia Jax. Because, yeah, that.
Because reasons.
Actually,
All right.
I actually have a question for you guys.
Yes.
Are we gonna have? Do you think we'll have like a Raw Underground match this weekend, or do you think Raw Underground will make an appearance at SummerSlam?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
Not. I think that they're gonna keep Raw Underground on Raw. I don't think that I don't think they're gonna bring it to pay-per-view yet.
Kind of hope they don't.
I hope they don't too. As far as my pick, I'm going to go with Asuka for this one too.
Oh,
I'm-
really? He's got to get one right.
Either I get, or what if I get both right? And that's what causes they lose 2 of their biggest titles, and that's what causes the team discord.
I think that there's gonna be a title involved, but that's just me.
Hey, stranger things have happened. They really have. But Brian, where do you think this is going? Who's your pick?
I've got Asuka beating Sasha Banks. I'm saying that Sasha Banks is gonna help Bayley, and I'm gonna say the same thing I've been saying for 6 goddamn months. Okay, Sasha Banks is gonna help Bayley, but Bayley's not gonna help Sasha. and Sasha's gonna lose to Asuka, and this is gonna be the breaking point.
Who do you think they'll defend the tag team titles against at Payback?
It's Asuka and Shayna Baszler.
Was that confirmed?
That's just who I think.
I think that was confirmed.
I didn't hear any
know that they're
confirmation.
defending it. I just don't think they heard.
I'm not convinced yet. We'll have to see how it goes, but I'm not I don't think it's going to be Asuka and Shayna.
Whoever they defend those titles against, they're gonna lose. So that's it.
All right, and Charlie.
Asuka.
Okay, that was quick. Quick consensus. All right. Speaking of quick consensus, next match: Street Fight. Dominic Mysterio versus Seth Rollins. It's my pick, I guess. I'm going to go with Dominic Mysterio on this one. It's again, thankfully, because it's a street fight, there can be some fair share of equalizers here that can really cement him as some sort of threat in some one capacity or the other before he ends up putting on a mask and being the son of Rey Mysterio junior, senior, sophomore party. Dominic Mysterio wins. Brian, who do you got?
I have Rey Mysterio coming back and getting Dominic Mysterio the win. I do think to set up a tag team match at Payback between Dominic and Rey and Murphy and Rollins. But yeah, Dominic's gonna get the win. For me, as I said, one of the newbies is going to get a win this weekend. And for me, it's going to be Dominic Mysterio to beat Seth Rollins.
Charlie, do you concur?
Remember what I said about not switching more than one of my paper picks to...
Yes.
I lied. I'm going to go with Dominic.
Okay.
You guys
with Seth.
What's that? I'm sorry. What's that, fool?
I seriously thought you were going to go with Seth, Charlie.
I honestly did.
That's why I'm saying I switched.
Question is, where are you going?
Seth is on a hell of a run right now. Let's be honest.
He's been on a hell of a run, but he keeps losing pay-per-views, so...
That's true.
But are you going to take that to the bank on this one?
Oh, I'm definitely going to keep going with it. He's going to just continue his losing streak. It's not affecting him in any way, shape, or form. I'm picking Dominic, Vin Diesel, Toretto, Mysterio to
The fuck?
Will Seth
also
Rollins
thinking
owe him a 5-second car by the end of the
I'm
match?
also thinking of Triple X, Vin Diesel, Dominic, Toretto, Mysterio, Jr. person.
Bad.
Is Dominic going to live his life 1/4 mile at a time?
He's just gonna keep thinking about family, him and Ray. Come on, man. The kid's taking revenge on Seth taking his daddy's eye out. So, yeah.
I can see him saying something like that at the end of the match. Like, Seth almost had him. Doesn't matter if you had him an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
You never had him. You never had his.
Apparently, you weren't too fast and furious for me. Oh.
Ay.
Maybe you should just go to New Japan Pro Wrestling and switch a little Tokyo Drift. Oh!
Granny shifting, not double clutching like it should on your suplexes.
Oh!
All right, I'm done. I'm tapped out. Let's move on to one half of the main events. Braun Strowman versus The Fiend. Whose turn is it? I lost track.
Mine.
Who cares?
Right.
Mine.
Brian, Fiend, Strowman. Who do you got?
Fiend. With
All right.
help from Alexa Bliss. No, that's it.
Hmm.
But no, Strowman hasn't had a great run. Okay, I think it's time to do a reset to where we were before all the bullshit started going down. I think the Fiendry takes the title here, and we can start building for Reigns' return from here.
Charlie, Fiend or Strowman? Who do you got?
Fiend. Is it me or was the whole ambulance thing a little cheese tonight?
There's always been a thin layer of cheese in my mind with a lot of things revolving around the Bray Wyatt, but in a good way. The Fiend is like a nice cheesy pizza.
Or what? But when he was standing there on the ambulance at the end, I don't know. The mask went from like something you fear to something you see on like a Halloween store shelf. I don't know. The mask looked cheese. The situation seemed cheese. It just was cheese.
I wouldn't know.
I was hoping at something like more towards a hint of bliss, but we got that cheese instead.
All right, Fool, what do you think?
Bray.
Bray?
Bray.
Fiend.
Uncle Bray.
Yeah, I like cheese, and I totally agree that we need to eventually come back to where we were. Fiend deserves it. Fiend is the Jason Voorhees of this whole promotion, and I love it. I'm here for it. He needs to go back on his Yowie Wowie throne until Roman Reigns comes back from the Amex. So, yeah, Fiend all the way.
I would say he's more Freddy Krueger than Jason.
He's both, depending on what he's in the mood for. He's just like, I'm going to shuffle around and use whatever kind of imagery from an 80s horror movie I feel like, because I'm Bray
Wyatt. Want him
Wyatt.
to say, "Welcome to prime time, bitch."
Before we dive into the main event, while we're on the topic of where we were, I read an interesting article today. Yesterday. Apparently news broke that Goldberg is going to be wrestling 2 to 3 matches till 2023.
Yes.
You guys hear about that, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it makes me mad.
Yeah.
Because that means it's gonna happen again.
Yeah, you know it's gonna happen.
Goldberg's gonna beat the Fiend, and we're gonna get Goldberg versus the
Oh,
Reigns.
no, he can't do that again. He'll be champion
We can't go that far.
Vince will do that again. We don't want to see that happen, but Vince wants it.
Yeah, true.
Oh, bro.
How many more passing of the torch matches will Vince give Roman Reigns?
Yes.
Because he's pretty much given all of them. Eventually, The Rock will come back, and it'll just be The Rock versus Reigns again. Well, it never happened. The Rock versus Reigns, just so Roman can beat him and just have him have that one arm up, arms up. Are you guys gonna boo again? Are you guys gonna boo again? Yeah, you are. Oh.
No. And finally, that brings us to our main event, not just of the night, but of the weekend. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. And Charlie, it's your turn. Who do you got?
Randall.
Randall? Randall Keith?
Randall Keith.
Randall Keith.
It's Randall Keith Orton.
Tarek, do you have Randall Keith?
I do have Randall Keith, because we're gonna see Randy get that 14-time World Heavyweight Champion, and I kind of want the Bryan Alvarez prediction to happen, where you think Ric Flair comes out and you think he's gonna help Drew, but he just low blows him, and that's what causes him the match, because it won't completely hurt Drew if that happens, instead of just, oh, he just pinned him 1, 2, 3, and he'll eventually get that nice big title win in front of fans, and the fans will go completely apeshit as they did when he won the Royal Rumble. Hell, he'll probably win the Royal Rumble again, just so he can have that WrestleMania match. Or we could just have Randy Orton versus Edge for the title at WrestleMania. Who knows? Charlie just got an erection out of that one. Because,
All right. Screw you guys. I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre.
He's going home. I'm not surprised.
I am not again, this is another one I'm not convinced it's going to happen. There's a chance, to be sure, definitely, but I'm not this way. Not like this. I'm not convinced.
This way, King.
Not this way. Fuck off. Stone Cold.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who actually thought of that when he said it.
Either way.
Not like this. Not this way.
Drew McIntyre is my pick. Which brings us to Brian. Who are you going with in this one?
Which brings us to Brian.
Yeah, do the ear voice while coming to me. That's cool. But that's it. But yeah.
Finish strong, sir. Finish strong.
I wish that I could go with Drew here. I really wish that I could, but Randall Keith Orton is, quite honestly, for me, doing the best work he's ever done that I've ever seen. And if anyone is going to beat Drew McIntyre at this stage, like if Randy doesn't win here, okay, Drew McIntyre there's nobody else for Drew to face. There's nobody else, and I think there's more run at this point out of a Randy Orton title reign, because I do want that Randy Orton versus Edge WrestleMania title match. Okay, I really do, and I think it does a disservice. I think that I think that it's fine for Drew to lose here, because then you can, when the crowds come back, you can have him win it again.
You are absolutely right.
So at this point, if you're going to have Drew lose, have him lose it to the guy who's on the best run of the entire roster right now. Like, there's nobody clicking on all cylinders more than Randy Orton at this point. He's at the best run of his career. He has a potential main event right now. okay, you could just book it right now and it's done. Just book Randy Orton versus Edge for the title at WrestleMania, and yeah, just you could do that right now. But so yeah, I think the move here is for Randy Orton to win.
And with that, our predictions for the title are locked in and closed. Those are what we think, but now we want to hear what you think. So wherever you are all across the internet, we want to hear from you. YouTube comments, Facebook comments, tout videos, whatever you got, all across the social media interwebs.
You could
But
write
our personal
about it.
You write what?
You could write in your live journal about it.
You write in your live journal. You can post to something on your MySpace.
Zanga.
On your what?
Zanga.
On your Zanga? I don't even know what that is.
Honestly, I thought he said Jenga. I'm like, on your
You
your
can play
black-
Zanga about it.
Yeah.
Let me check my BlackBerry.
Post your BBM numbers below.
You can go on our Usenet forums and post your predictions there.
Message us.
AOL Instant Messenger.
Bring out your phone lines and let's go.
Go on AOL dial-up and join in the chat rooms.
Giving out the key to a house for in your house.
Chat us up on Morse code.
A can with a string attached.
Go on top of your roof of your house and send us smoke signals.
Send a carrier pigeon.
Typewriter.
Card will be live via walkie-talkie.
Or if you want to be boring about it, you can just follow us on our Twitter machines, starting with @ScholarsOW for all the latest episode uploads and prediction games. Look for that this weekend, right as soon as this episode goes up. Look for it. Or if you want to join the conversation directly, you can, as always, follow us on our own personal accounts. Fool, where can they reach you?
You can reach me, the Scholars of Wrestling Party Champion, for the last time, at least for right now, at the Avatar. And because I'm not going to be at the party this weekend, I wish you three gentlemen the best of luck and see who can win this Charles. Will Charlie and Charles be united? Will Brian become the second multi-time party champion? Or will the Fool wear this with his matching red shirt and it'll just blend it into his chest?
Hey,
Good luck,
coordination,
gentlemen.
baby, coordination. Thank
Good
you,
luck,
sir.
gentlemen.
That being said, Brian, where can they reach you?
You can find me as the reigning, defending Scholars of Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, potentially for the last time, at Atomic Beanpole.
Or you never know,
And-
Brian. One of us could be Brian 2 belts or Tarek 2 belts again. You never know. Well, I can't. You can. I can't.
And Charlie, where can they reach you?
1-900-909-9900, the WWF hotline. From 6 to 7 going into SummerSlam.
Please get your parents' permission before calling.
Or on my Twitter at Charlie.
Well, yeah, if you want to be boring about it.
Yeah.
And you can also contact me at I'm Robbie Rage. Join the conversation. It's going to be it's going to be a fun-filled weekend of wrestling. And we're going to be there to discuss it all and cover it all. Why? Because you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
See you all at SummerSlam.
Write to me, Stickly, P.O. Box 963, New York City, New York State, 10108.
10108.